Okay. Okay. So for like we have a employee component. Inside the employee component, we are loading this data from the backend. Okay. So once we are loading the data, we are using a array data map. Correct, right? So whenever you want to display any employees data, what you are going to do? You are going to load this employees data map method. So automatically you are going to iterate all the data and you are going to print it to the output. That is already done. And second is, whenever we want to add an employee, suppose employee name is Ram and bank number 1234 and PAN number also 1234, and click on save. So this is automatically adding it to the table. So this is already we have done in the previous video. Now the next thing is, suppose I want to delete this user, delete this user. So you can click here. If the user is clicking OK, we can delete that. For that, what we have used here, we have used the handle delete method, and we are passing the index. If you know the index, removing is very easy. What is the method we can use it for removing an array? Splice method. Okay. If you want to remove first element, shift method. Last element, pop method, and anywhere in the center of the element you can use the splice method. So here we are using a splice method, and once we are doing that splice, again we are storing that into the state, so that React will know that again it will reload the page. That is the reason we are setting the employees again. So this is already done. Now today we will add a edit button. Suppose by mistake I am writing Trinits 10, I want to change that name to the some Trinits 10 or some other name. Okay. So first we add a one more button here, like a edit in this row. So let's go there and add a edit button. Let me just clone this here, and the button outline, it is a success. Let's go for a success. Okay. And this name I can keep it as a edit. So this click event, I will write it. Okay. Suppose let us reload our page. Here we have a edit page. Okay. So now whenever we are clicking edit, first what we have to do, we need to show this form automatically. Okay, that's first thing. And second thing is, inside the form, whatever the data I am typing, that data it should automatically come in this form. So that is the two things I should do. And if I am clicking save, the third thing is, it should not add any new row. It should only change in the replacing it. Okay, three things we should do it. Okay. So let us do step by step. If you want to open this form auto, like in the center of the screen, first we need to make one flag as a true. Okay, show form. So we have written a one click here. That click is nothing but a on click. Okay. So here again I can write like a same. Can I write one method? Handle edit. Okay, handle edit employee, and I can pass the index, like which index I am going to edit it. Okay. So let's go and create a new function here. Let's create one more function handle employee, something like this. Okay. So we have written, and we can write this is okay. So now we know the index. The first step is we want to show that form, right? So we have one flag, we have one state variable, and that variable by default is a false. And if you are making this variable to true, automatically form will display. So let us call this function set display form. Set display form is equal to true. Okay. Okay. So now file, save all. So with this one, we are going to do the second part. Let's click on save. See, automatically this is coming. But the next thing is, we want to send this data, whatever this row we having it, we want to send this data to my child. Who is the parent here? This employee is a parent, and this employment form is a child. Okay. So the next step is we want to send this data to the child. Which data we want to send it? This whatever the data we are selecting this row, that data we want to send it. First, let's print it to the console. Then later we'll do this. Okay. I can say employees. What is my array name? Employees. Okay. If you go to the top, what is your variable name here? Employees. So that is my array name. So I'm going to copy this. And if you want to get any element in the selected index, how can we get it? We can get like a index. Okay, index, and we can store into one variable. Constant emp. Okay. So we are getting this value. So now let's print console first, console.employee. So first we want to verify whatever the record we are selecting, we are able to get it or not. Later we will do this. So let's click here, inspect, and try to do console. Let's go to console. Okay, click here. I'm going to click this last row. See, what is the row I am getting it? ID is equal to 10. Employee name is equal to Trinits 9. Okay, that means whatever the row I'm clicking. So let us click this time here. Delete. So what is the row? ID is equal to 5 and employee name is equal to Trinits 4. Okay. If the data is loaded from the backend, we will have a property called ID. If we are going to add anything, we will not have a ID property. That is okay. Okay, something like this. So let us try to edit this scenario. So let's click again here. So we are having ID property, employee name is there, employee name, all the properties is there, right? Now we want to send this data to the parent to child. How can you send data to parent to child? Using the props only, correct, right? So let us send the data to through the props. Let's go to your child here. So earlier we are sending only two data. One is a click event, another is a save event. Okay. So now this time what we want to do, I want to say employee model. So this is nothing but a model we want to send from parent to child for edit scenario. So let's copy here. And here, if you see here, we are having this initial values, right? Initial values, right? So let us remove that one and send like this initial value. So because this model is nothing but my initial value. Okay. So whenever you are saving something like this, now go to parent. Now child is expecting one property, right? Employee model. So that is the reason. Let's go to this parent child tag. Here you will have a employee model is equal to. Now we need to send the one model here. Okay. This right side we need to send one model. So this model, what I will do, I will say I'm going to create a new model. That's nothing but a selected property, something like this. Okay. So let's create constant selected EMP model and set selected EMP model by default, something like this. And this is a empty object here, something empty object. Okay. So now if we are, whenever we are clicking on the edit button, okay, whatever the data is there, we will set to the state variable. How to set it? Select a employee. Okay. So now this is okay. And let me console. I just stop the console. And here in the top, whatever the variable name you are writing it, copy that variable name and go to right side, you can give it here. Okay. So now this means what we have done, we have declared one property in the child. Okay. And in the parent, we are creating one state variable. So in that state variable, we are keeping by default as a empty. Okay. And after that, what we are trying to do after that, whenever we are clicking on the edit, handle edit method, we are whatever the index we are selecting it, that value we are setting into the this one. Okay. So file, save all. Let's go on, check it again. Okay. So let's reload here again. I'm going to click edit. See, the data is coming or not? Okay. So okay. So now this is okay. Now let's see, there will be one problem here. So whenever I'm clicking add also, same data is coming. There is a problem or not? Okay. The problem here is, so it is simple here. So whenever you are clicking set employee, what is the data you are setting into your state one model? Okay. And whenever you are clicking add also, at that time also same data is there. So whenever you are clicking add, you need to clear that data. Whenever you are clicking edit, whatever the data you are selecting, you want to set this data. For that reason, I will go to there is a add employee method is there, right? Okay, here I am going to do like this. Set selected employee is equal to empty object. Okay, file, save all, or you can set it here and show it. Anything is fine. Okay, so let us edit again. So this data is coming. I'll click on cancel and add employee. Okay. So now whenever we are clicking add, empty model is there. And whenever we are clicking edit, edit model is there. Okay. Both are fine, right? Okay. So now the only final thing is, suppose here 8 is there. I will change this one to the Trinits RAM, something like this. Okay. Now if I am going to save, please observe the behavior. So what is the data it is adding it? It is adding a new row. Okay. But this is, we don't want to add any new row. What is our expectation? We want to edit this line, not the adding a new line. Because so whenever you are clicking save here, Okay, whenever you are clicking the save in the child table, what is the function you are calling here? If you see on submit, what is the function you are calling it? On save employee. So where is this available? Inside the on save. In the parent, there is a method called on save. See what is the code you have written here? You are writing console. After that, what you are writing? You are always trying to push it. Push means what will happen? Always add only. But now we need to think, hey, don't push always. Okay, if id is there, replace the id index. If id is not there, then you can go and add it here, something like this. Okay, so here we can write some simple if condition. Here I'm going to say if employee model id is there. Okay, so whenever id is there means what? It will be we know that there it is an existing one. Okay, so we can just do this one. Let us copy here. That's okay. Okay, so whenever this is the employee id is there, we are going to write some code. Okay, if id is not there, that means this is a fresh one. So that's the reason we are adding a new push. So now if now what we have to do, we have to identify where is in the array, in which place it is there. We want to identify it. If you want to identify, what are the methods we can use it? Previous what are the methods? Find index. Okay, find index. Okay, something like this. Emp. Okay, so now this is first we are trying to identify the in which place it is there, because we want to replace that element, right? That is the reason first we are calling the find index. So this find index will return the some index, right? Constant index. Okay, constant index. Now we are going to find the index. This is okay. Now with this index you are going to write like a something like this. If you want to replace any element, you can simply say array of that index and your new model you can write it. Okay, so automatically now we are going to return the new array. Let's file, save all, and again we'll reload the page. So let's reload the page again. Okay, so now this time we are going to have only 10 elements. Let's click on the 8th again. Okay, 8th. So 8th ram. Okay, so this is a click on save. See here, is it adding any new element or it is updating? It is updating the same element. It is not adding any new element. Okay, simple technique. Again, let us try to do it from scratch. Okay, the first step, we have added the delete button. Okay, so what is the code we have written inside the delete that edit button? So the edit button, what we have written? We have written a button and we are writing one on click. Okay, so inside the on edit employee, what is the code we have written? First time we are trying to show that form true, that is okay. So then only the form will come up. Okay, and whichever the element we are clicking, we need to know the details, right? That is the reason I am saying a employee of index. So that will return a employee object. Okay, that employee object I am setting into the state. Why I am setting the state? Because I want to send data from my parent to child. That is the reason I'm setting into the here. Okay, so and we for this one you took one new state variable, selected employee, and this array. And second thing, whenever you are clicking add, you are resetting the data. Why you are resetting the data? Otherwise you will get the previous data. That is the reason whenever we are clicking edit add, we are resetting the data. Okay, and finally in the save, so earlier we have written some code, right? Here we are writing one if condition. What is if condition? We are writing it if employee id is there, you replace the code. If employee id is not there, you push it. Push means automatically always it will add in the last. Okay, so then you are going to save it. File, save it. So then you can verify. Suppose you want to add in, suppose now we will add it. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 something. Okay, let's click on the save. So this time is adding into the new element. So add is working fine, edit is working fine. Suppose you want to delete it, you can delete also. So three things are fine. Okay, so like this you can work on the this add part, like update part. So the only tricky here is you need to identify if id is there, you replace the element. If id is not there, you push the element. That is the only code it will change for edit and update. Okay.